Um, but to actually list off some of the factions of Relic, you have the main one, which is the Vanguard Kingdom, a kingdom which is a kind of a kingdom with a sleeping king. It has three main branches of like three different coats of arms of it, where you have the Rangers, the Raven Guards, and the Techians. Uh, and it's in a sense a kingdom that is in a sense is holding the mantle of a ancient duty compared to the entire world. And it's not a large kingdom, but it's still a formidable kingdom. You know, it may be small, but it has hands. um. So yeah, the other one would be known as the Turkish Empire, and it's a place, a large kingdom where it's an alliance of three other kingdoms, and its entire system is that it's kind of something like Rome, where it's a little bit like Rome, for the fact that it does take in religions from other places and such like that, and kind of put it into their own sort of religion. But it's of a very assimilated purpose. They would take a religious icon or god or something, and they would pretty much refine it and change it in some regards to fit their own terms of unity, that's the Turkish Empire's whole thing. Is like they're all about unity, all about, you know, unification, not of a philosophy, not just that, but like of an actual religious degree of unity. Like, you know, they must, you know, all things must be unified, or else pretty much we all crumble. That's more so from a trauma the entire people of the Turkish Empire pretty much got from a horrible incident. But yeah, it's a pretty spooky faction, I would say. You know, the idea of kind of changing, breaking down some other god and making it into their own view. You know, it's really kind of uncomfortable thinking about that. But oh, sorry, big yawns. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I can say generally with the world, and hopefully that gave you kind of the scope of the world, the rope of the world, yeah, the scope of the world. And it's large, you know. I always say a few things, a few factions, but you know, you have different lands and such like that, different oceans. There's even stuff underground of the world where there's just, you know, tunnels of tunnels. It's large beneath there. It is quite literally worse to go underground, since there's a lot of stuff that is from the different ages and eras, cataclysms and all that. So yeah, I know a lot of this probably sounds weird without context, or it just sounds stupid face first, like, you know, like looking at it broadly. But you know, I am talking about it broadly, but I hope it does sound interesting in some regards. Of course, I wouldn't say anything about any characters. but characters are kind of ooh, my voice cracked. Ooh. But characters are their own kind of subject in Relic, is they have their own wacky lore, like King Netherin. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, yeah. How in the world does how can your hair even get into your mouth, man? How? Sorry, that was probably an awful visual, but man, anything to make this recording any weirder. Um, ugh, gross. But anyways, I was saying with King Nitherin, being a pivotal figure of the entire kind of land of Relic, honestly. Someone who, has killed, fought, was pretty much a war king, and just someone who was just absolutely brutal. So you got him, you have Geneva, which, oh boy, that is a character that is fit for his own entire video, just for himself, Geneva. Oh man. But yeah, but you have other characters that are not as crazy. You have like what I jokingly call him as Monkey Master, just a weird goofball of a guy that lives in the wild, hanging around in trees and such, kind of like a wild man, but very much is a man that just acts like a monkey. He's a strange individual. But besides that, you also do have, well, not what we do have, but I also do plan to make a book around Relic, as I say in the introductory. Kind of, I plan to make it so that it's just part of the world. I'm not gonna name drop the book yet, because I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it or not, but it's a book about an old man, and pretty much kind of him on like a journey, and I think it would be a good start for me, since it's very much, it's not trying to explain everything, it's not trying to show everything in your face. It's just kind of following a man who's just trying to find something. And yeah, it's kind of what it is, just him trying to find something after all these kind of years in his life. Kind of like a adventure book in some regards. But it's probably not a creative book, honestly. It doesn't have much that would make it creative, but I hope it's enjoyable. Be really the first thing I really wrote down in a like a book, my first book. So probably be things that won't make sense or anything like that. Definitely to proofread it a lot of times. Probably let my family and friends check it out, see if it looks good. But yeah, that's pretty much what I can say with generally the whole thing I can say with the Relic. Now, what I can say, just a little snippets about my other worlds, is that you have such things like Mask, which is one of my up and coming ones I've been thinking about. Technically one of my more older ones, but it's really been going through a lot of re-transformations and such. And pretty abstract, pretty gnarly looking mentally, like visualizing it. It's cool. Kind of feels a little bit like Near Automata, but like this weird, like spaghetti western feudal Japan, just weirdness. I don't know how to describe it to you guys. It is such a strange world to think about it. You know, you have like floating stone heads that has cities on them. You have realms in between it where you have like weird gray realms that you're just walking on water. Places that disconnect and reconnect, places that shift. It's just it's a it's a wacky world. And then you have other ones like Cornerstone, which is kind of an idea of like basically what if the sea, what if the sand moved like the sea, and that created a whole wacky world that was kind of inspired by an anime I saw. Whale something. I don't know. I have to check what it was called again, but it's a neat little world. I'm not sure if I would really still work on it, since it's honestly it feels more like One Piece than anything else. So I don't know. Might just change that. I got Steel Eater, which I really like it. It's very graphic, a lot more graphic than my other ones, since it's very much like kind of a Tokyo Ghoul feeling about it, where you got this entire race of creatures that literally that it literally eats humans and can look like a human and such like that, and then you have human forces constantly fighting against them, and you know, crazy stuff like that, in kind of a world that is permanently scarred from those things' arrival. Yeah, and then you got my space one, which is like feels like Cowboy Bebop on steroids. You know, I got samurai mechs, and it's just over the top, balls to the walls craziness. It's really funny. But yeah, that's what I can say right now. It's already, oh geez, 33 minutes. Ugh. I cannot imagine someone trying to listen to this for 33 minutes. But people, I don't know if people honestly would like this. I don't think I have a voice for this stuff, but hey, you know, there's no one, you know, where are you guys gonna go? Anyways, though, yeah, so that's the generalistic stuff I can say right now with these worlds before I really start going in depth and really start putting in the pressure with the creative juices and trying to make it all seem like a very enjoyable process for everybody. And down the road, I'll probably just, you know, start explaining stuff about myself. You know, maybe to friends, and explain the creative process and just other stuff, you know, or just go into not just me, but just to like, you know, other creative things, whatever, how that goes. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting a lot of notifications. Jeez. I'm getting a lot of notifications. What is going on? Well, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this first actual video until I start going to the less conceptual videos or concept videos. And yeah, hope you guys are doing okay. Hope that wasn't a boring talk or anything like that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good night, a good day, night, and hopefully you try to know yourself a little bit more. So, yeah. That was part 2 in the final part of the conceptual video for now of Relic. Yeah, pretty much that. What I'm going to do now, most likely, is the videos after these two, is that I am going to go much more deeper into Relic's lands, its cultures, and its people. I might softly touch upon the races of Relic, more details of their powers, but I'll mainly go into the detailing of the mainland. Anything that's related to like Shitamina, Bildrada, and Nankai, and the other lands, I will not mention them yet. But the main focus will be the mainland, since that is the main land that I have focused a lot of my work on. The other lands still have lore and they still have things I can work on. But for now, the next videos are going to be me focusing on just those lands of the mainland. And, you know, hopefully I am more coherent than rambling all the time. But yeah. If you guys think that I should do something else, or do something of a different sort, or maybe, I don't know, keep having videos longer or shorter, I prefer to keep them shorter for now, just to, you know, well, I guess I don't know if 20 minutes is shorter, but, you know, I don't think that my videos are, you know, any close to having anything longer than maybe 20 minutes. To me, that's the limit. But if you guys think otherwise, maybe when I have introduced music and other things, whatever I can do with my skill sets that is progressing while I'm using this editing software, just, you know, tell me. I would like to hear your tips or advices or whatever. I know this is very subpar content, but I, you know, need to get to somewhere. So hope you can have patience with my progress. So enough of that yapping, and hopefully you guys, hopefully I can see you later. Anyways, goodbye.